Hey, how's it going today, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Zach Lasco, and you're listening to the Shed Talk Show podcast. As always, today's show is brought to you by Lasco Boating Products. Lasco Boating Products is a small family owned business that has been serving the community for 20 years. Call Bill at 724 522 1655 for all of your window, door, and kitchen remodeling needs. Spring is right around the corner, and what better time to renovate the house or business? Lasco Building Products is located at 528 Edna Road, Adamsburg, PA 15611. Again, call Bill at 724 522 1655 or just stop on down. How's it going today, ladies and gentlemen? We have a great show lined up for you. It's not going to be an extremely long one, but we kind of want to start off. I hit a nice bet this weekend and just really excited. It's been a long time, to be honest with you. We've been putting them in not too frequently, but whenever I feel it, I like to just get them going. So yesterday I thought to myself, well, we got a couple good games. We got some college basketball, and we don't have football anymore, but we do have college basketball coming. We still have soccer, and there's always the NBA. So I had a four-leg parlay. First off, I started some soccer. I went Arsenal versus Leicester City. Arsenal, that was a straight up money line, minus 250. Then I took Tennessee money line against Texas A&M, minus 285. So those are two favorites right there. This is kind of where it gets a little sketchy. I took Iowa over Purdue, and Iowa was the underdog at plus 106. They ended up hitting that puppy, and so right now we got Arsenal, Tennessee, and Iowa all hit on the four-leg parlay. The last but not least, James Harden over 21 and a half points. This was the craziest part of my parlay. So Harden didn't do much until the fourth quarter. He had, I think, 13 points coming into the fourth quarter. Again, I needed 21 and a half. I wasn't really watching it that much because sometimes when I watch, I feel like, I kind of jinx myself. I definitely am like superstitious in that way. So anyhow, long story short, Harden gets to 20 points with like a minute left in the fourth quarter, and I'm like, this is exactly what happens to me all the time. I lose my bets by like uh 1 yard or 1 point, whatever it may be. The Super Bowl I needed. I'm not gonna go there, but regardless, so Harden, 20 points, minute left. He doesn't get his points, but the game goes to overtime. First possession of the game, Harden goes up, nails a three. We hit it in overtime. We hit the bet. Plus, let me double check it. It was a plus 619 bet. I put 100 down, so I cashed out at 719. It was a nice hit to start off the work week last night. You know what I mean? Definitely a great way to start the day. So since we're talking sports, I wanted to kind of go over the new format of the show because I've been getting a lot of feedback on my mental health part of the show, and I really like that. I really like to help with people's, anxiety or whatever they have, just to be a voice to talk to. So I'm going to keep that aspect in the show. So we're going to do three different things each show. I'm a sports guy. Shed Talk Show was originally, going to be a sports show, but as I said, I'm not just a sports guy. So first category is always going to be sports. That's how we're going to do it. Second category is going to be entertainment, and third's always going to be health and wellness. I think this is a great way to do it because like I have a lot of buddies and I have a lot of friends that I want to get on the show, and all of them don't necessarily pay attention to sports. You know what I mean? Like I really like I really like talking sports. I really like talking, to people that are knowledgeable about sports, but there's way more to life than just that. So, you know, uh I'm very interested in video games. I'm very interested in movies. So, and in music. Just entertainment in general. I thought that was a great category to keep that going. And then the health and wellness, I think that's very important for all of us to talk about. We're getting a lot of people reaching out, actually, like surprisingly, a handful of people have reached out and kind of thanked me for, bringing this subject to light because it's not something that they're necessarily comfortable with, talking about. So, if I can help in any way, uh, I will certainly do so. So let's just jump right into it. First sports category. We got the Players Championship going on right now. And you're going to have to give me 1 second because this thing is so exciting. We had, so first off, Thursday it went great. Then Friday it got postponed because of crazy weather. Okay. Um, Saturday, same thing. We had the PGA try to squeeze in the second round because, as I said, Friday was canceled. Thursday went well. Friday was canceled. Saturday, they tried to squeeze in they tried to squeeze in a few rounds and it just didn't work. Really, what happened is the players that ended up trying to squeeze in, it kind of set them back, honestly. Like, because when you're playing at 50-mile-an-hour winds or whatever it may be, 25 to 50 miles an hour winds, that's going to extremely change the way you're attacking a course. So, as I said, like half of the field, half the guys that were behind, because how it starts, the more you are ahead in a PGA tournament, the later your tee time is. So, these guys that were kind of far behind played on Saturday because they wanted to get the rounds in, but it was not good because they ended up having to postpone the round anyhow because of the weather. So what happened was they played part of the second round on Saturday, then they finished the remainder of the second round on Sunday, and Sunday it was just cold. When they woke up, it was freezing, the weather got better, but those guys that got to play on Sunday and still play the second round, they definitely had an advantage. I believe they said 20, I think it was 27 guys from the first day made the cut and 40 guys from Sunday made the cut in the second round because, so that kind of illustrates, I mean, it's not that dramatic of a drop off. It's 13 people and maybe those 13 people wouldn't have made it anyhow. But again, it's very difficult to play whenever the wind is like that and when it's raining and the course is soaked. There's definitely an advantage to waiting a day. So anyhow, without further ado, we have I guess I don't want to say a newcomer, but a new name at the top of the leaderboards right now. He's -9, and forgive me for this pronunciation. Anarban Lahari, and he has 2 World Golf Tour wins, and other than that, he's practically new to the scene. So we'll see if this guy can hold on. He tees off today at 101, and that will be the start of the 4th round. They're actually finishing the 3rd round today on a Monday, which is weird because, as I said, the tournament usually wraps up on a Sunday. We got Paul Casey in second with -8. Sam Burns joins him and at -8, along with Sebastian Munez at -8. And then we got some more notable: Cameron Smith, Harold Varner, Will Zalatoris, all within the top 10. And let's see. I saw John Rahm was making a nice little run earlier this morning. And then my man Victor Hovland, as you all know, love him. He hit a hole-in-one on hole 8 this morning, a 219-foot or 219-yard par 3, which was pretty cool. Anyhow, enjoyed that. But again, so Harold Varner's been playing pretty solid all tournament. His tee-off time's at 12:17. Cameron Smith, you can't ever count him out. I would love to see Paul Casey winning. He's a great guy. I think he deserves the win, but I don't believe that this Anarban Lahari is going to hold on because he's got a lot of solid players. Even, like I said, Cameron Smith, Will Zalatoris, they're all in contention right now. And coming into the final round, being there before definitely helps. So for me, I'm pulling for Paul Casey because I think the man deserves a major. He's a great guy. That's just my 2 cents on it. I think that out of anybody, again, he's got the experience up there. I mean, Sam Burns is pretty solid too, but I would love to see Harold Varner pull it out. He's 3 back. It's definitely possible. You never know. He had kind of a worse round on round 3. If he would have played, shot a 72, 69 both other rounds. So whatever, we'll see what happens with that. I want to talk a little bit about Elden Ring because my goodness, this game is starting to take over my life. it's really becoming kind of a problem. It's awesome and extremely detail oriented. My buddy Clay actually he had a very great comparison. He said that it is the grown man's Fable, which I agree with completely, man. We both played Fable and loved it, but there's just something to Elden Ring that's extremely difficult. I mean, every boss that you face, you're gonna die at least 10 times. I mean, that's literally what the point of the game is. So you basically go to these bosses, you learn how to kill them, you find out their patterns, and every single one of them's different to start. Some have magic, some have just straight up power swords that one hit will kill you. Some that you gotta, they'll jump at you, but they're slow. So slow but powerful. So you got to really negotiate your way through this game along the and that's just like the surface of the game. Then you have to build your character. I chose an astrologer because honestly it's easier and this game is extremely hard, and and I can hit people from distance with my magic, and I think that's probably the best way for a new person playing like a Dark Souls game. For those of you who don't know, this is a Dark Souls game, and all of them have a reputation for being extremely difficult. So anyhow, I believe that the astrologer was a good place for me to start. So right on top of figuring out these bosses and how to beat them, you got to figure how to upgrade your equipment. As a mage or as an astrologer mage class, I have to figure out how to get a better staff, how to upgrade that staff, how to get new spells. I have to go to there's millions of different places throughout this map that you can get new spells, but there's a place called an astrology academy, which it's kind of like a school for mages, which is pretty awesome. There's countless some things that you can do in this damn game, but it is so frustrating. Another cool thing I really like about it though is again I've just never seen anything like it. Like the customization of each character, it can really be what you want it to be. And there's so much different armor. There's so many different swords, spells, wands. Fucking man, there's just so much to do. Like I think I have like 40 hours of gameplay, and I don't even have a half of the map open yet. It's ridiculous. So you have to go to each of these areas, get a map fragment to open up the map, and then you find these little thing called wow blessing sites. Oh my god, so sorry that I'm drawing a blank here, but they're like waypoints. It's basically a checkpoint that you find throughout the map, and it allows you to, like, once you die, you can respawn there, or you can go back and level up, or add more potions like health and mana potions, so you can regain those. There's just so many. This game is crazy. Um, and it's extremely fun like it's basically a single player game that you can bring your buddies in to help you with these bosses and kind of take the storyline over with. But again, I really like the fact that you just kind of play your own game. There's not many, like, in this day and age, there's not many like open world games where you're kind of by yourself but still with people online, if that makes sense. Like, you're like nobody can really come at you unless you invite them in the game. So I don't know, it's just extremely in depth and super awesome, and I'm pretty much addicted to it. So that's where I'm at with that. If you guys have anything on Elden Ring you want to add, or talk to me about, just let me know. I would love to bullshit or whatever. My gamer tag ZFlow15. If you want to play with me, let me know. I try to get on like once a day if possible. So again, just add me, hit me up. That'd be awesome. Last category of the day, we're going health and wellness, gratitude. So what gratitude is to me is, you look around your daily life, and a lot of the times we take things for granted. And as I was telling you guys before, sometimes I wake up and I'm in a mood, or I don't feel as good about, myself, and blah, 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 just not feeling good. But what gratitude does is, you look at your life and you look around, and maybe things that you take for granted, as I said, you start to realize that a lot of people don't have. As Joe was saying before, we have so many things in life that we just, I keep saying it, but we take it for granted. You know what I mean? So, like, even my dog, my best friend, my dog Benson. Like, there's times where I come home from work and he's extremely excited to see me, and then I'm tired or whatever, and I'm kind of dismissive. And you know what? That's not his fault, man. And that's my own problem. That's me being dismissive and being rude. When in reality, if I wanted to be in a better mood, I should be so grateful for that guy, dude. He loves me. He is my entire world. Like, besides my wife and my family, like, this guy is my entire world, and I love him so much. And just to remind yourself of that, just to be grateful for the fact that you have a buddy like that, or whatever that may be in your life. Your mom, your dad, your friends, your family, your dog, your animals, whatever. Take a look around and realize what you are grateful to have. You know what I mean? Just be thankful for it, because that alone can really kind of recenter your perspective. And that's like that's kind of what I'm always talking about, I guess. um, as I said in the last episode, my one buddy reached out on Instagram, and he did actually get back to me and said that I can mention a little bit more of what he was saying. And basically, what my buddy Nick said, Nick Pio, he's the one that kind of reached out. He said that you do things, you kind of trick yourself the same way that you can trick yourself to being, in a bad mood. You can kind of do it in a good way to make yourself in a good mood. You start doing little things like holding the door open for strangers, or just smiling whenever good things happen, or I'm so guilty of this, like even doing this show. My wife said, "Oh, you're gonna do a show today," and she was really excited for me. You know what I mean? Like, "Oh, that's so great because you're sticking to what you're saying and you're being consistent." And I'm just like, "Yeah, I guess it's okay." Like what? And all she's doing is just being excited for me, and that's exactly how I should be for myself. And I'm just not there sometimes, and I'm not sure why. So I guess back to what I was saying with Nick. You hold the door open, you smile whenever you don't necessarily feel like smiling, and then all of a sudden, these things that seemed like such big deals or whatever, they're just, for whatever reason, this momentum that you gain from, just doing the next right thing, as my dad likes to say. The momentum you gain from doing that, and not getting pissed off about every little thing and just focusing on that, it's unreal, man. Like you really feel like a brand new person with a fresh outlook on life. And I think that, like, that it goes along the lines of what I was saying the other day with working out too. Like, my day doesn't necessarily start until I hit the gym, and that's just because maybe there is some like scientific facts to that, and my endorphins just start going, so I focus more. But again, it starts with that little step of like being uncomfortable in the morning and knowing I can do this. You know what I mean? Like, wake up and remind yourself that you can do what you want to do that day. And honestly, the same is true for the opposite side of that coin. I could be sitting there and I could talk myself out of going to the gym, and then I'll talk myself out of everything else for that day too. You know what I mean? And then before you know it, I've done nothing. I feel even worse about myself because I didn't do anything. And then, you just make excuses, and that's what that allows. Once you make one excuse, it allows for that snowball effect to happen. Same thing is true for positive, and I believe that's what my buddy Nick was saying. You do positive things, you keep doing them, and they snowball into even better things. And, again, you do the next right thing and good things will happen. So, back to being grateful and gratitude, you just take a look around, even having a roof over your head, having a meal tonight, just so many little things, a shower, clothes, this shirt, this hat, this computer, this everything that I have in my life, somebody doesn't have that. And if you really think about that in that way, then you will be grateful. And maybe you even want to help those who don't. I know that I'm starting to get there, and I really, I can't stress it enough. If you have any problems mentally, physically, anything, you just want to talk to somebody and, reach out. I'm here. I know that I haven't always been, because I've been dealing with my own stuff too, and I apologize for anybody that I may have hurt along the way, because I haven't always been, in the right state of mind. I've had my own issues that I've had to overcome, and I've had these trials and tribulations that I've had to deal with in my own head, and and maybe I don't go about handling that the best way, but I do know that I'm definitely trying to get better, because I can't be how I used to be. You know what I mean? I can't be in my head. I need to be more present, and I need to be better. So, and that's what the whole Shed Talk show thing's about. I'm just, I want to have a community of people that just want to be better, that aren't criticizing you for what you aren't doing. We want to build you up and make you just better in every way that you want to be. No excuses, none of that stuff. Let's just talk about what's going on. And if you're lacking in an area the same as me, tell me and I'll tell you. And that's just how it goes, man. Nobody needs to get offended. Sometimes we do, and I guess that's natural to get offended whenever somebody calls us on our own things. But again, the desire to change is more powerful than I think anything in this world. So, if you want to be better, it just takes that first step. Just do one thing consistently and then just do the next thing consistently and just start with one small thing. Like I said, open the door for people. Just if you're not doing anything and you don't feel that, make a conscious effort to hold the door open for everybody you see. Start there. You know what I mean? And then maybe that snowballs into something else and you just keep adding and adding and adding those things. And then before you know it, you do these things habitually and then life seems a little bit easier. I don't know. I mean, I'm not claiming to be any expert or anything like that, but I'm just saying these are little tips and tricks that I've found along the way that help. I'm gonna wrap the show up here pretty quick, but I do want to say we did have a trivia winner from our show on Friday. Josh Verdon, you were correct. There was 4 Joes that have won the Super Bowl. Joe Namath, Joe Theismann, Joe Flacco, and wow, Joe Montana. Yep, that's the 4. And then how many quarterbacks have won Super Bowls with multiple teams? 2. Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Josh Verdon, you will be getting a autographed Shed Talk hat sent to you in the mail, and we appreciate your viewership, and thanks for reaching out, man, and congratulations on the win. We're gonna come up with some more trivia questions here as soon as I get some more merchandise for the show, but I don't want to, leave anybody hanging. Well, I think that's about it for today, guys. Again, I really appreciate you all just, taking the time out and watching the show. Even the people that have ever, everybody that's been reaching out to me on Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, Twitter, even the text message. Like, I honestly didn't think anybody was going to do that. So the fact that you guys are, and maybe I'm just grateful, man. Again, gratitude. I never thought in a million years that anybody would even pay attention to me doing this. So the fact that you have feedback for me and you've watched the show, and just thanks, guys. Thank you so much. I want to thank my sponsor again, Lasco Building Products. Without you, this would not be possible, so thank you so much. Windows, doors, kitchens, call Bill 724-522-1655. Lasco Building Products is located at 528 Edna Road, Adamsburg, PA 15611. Again, just call Bill or stop on down. Well, there you have it, guys. I think that's it for the day. My name is Zach Lasco. This has been the Shed Talk Show podcast. And until next time, have a great day, unless you've made other plans. Also, last thing, register for the Wiffle Ball Tournament online. I have a flyer out. Email me at zlasco15.com. We will be having a Wiffle Ball Tournament June 12th, at Cedar Creek Park. Teams of 3 to 5. All teams must have one girl, $30 buy-in per team. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, unless you made other plans.